Indiana will get the ball first. The Hoosiers 3-6 overall. Illinois 2-7. Indiana has not been in Champaign since 2012. These two teams haven't met since 2013.
Yeah, with the legends and the leaders, and then the West and East divisions, they took off a lot of time from a rivalry that was pretty consistent up until the last couple of years.
Davonte Williams back to receive the opening kick from Chase McLaughlin. And we are underway in Champaign. Williams will let it bounce in the end zone, and Indiana will start from its own 25-yard line. Time for a look at today's Auto Owners Insurance Impact Players. Jay, for the Hoosiers on offense.
Simi Cobbs Jr., one of the best wide receivers in the Big Ten, can go up and get those balls. High points to the football, one of the best at coming down with it. Ian Thomas, one of the more versatile tight ends in the conference, especially when it comes to catching the ball in space, yards after catch. And then we're going to see this a lot. Nate Hobbs on Simi Cobbs. That's going to be all day. A matchup to watch. The best corner on the best receiver.
And there's the answer. Richard Lagow with his second straight start. His 19th career start and his 21st overall game. The handoff goes to Morgan Ellenson. No gain on the play. Tackled by linebacker Jimmy Marquez, a walk-on. The numbers on Lagow for the season: he's thrown 8 touchdowns. He's been picked off 5 times. But a different dynamic to this offense with Lagow as opposed to Ramsey, Jay.
Much more passing-oriented. Lagow has a big-time arm. He just makes some ill-advised decisions at points in the game.
Now Lagow throwing deep down the sideline. Simi Cobbs, and that bounces off his helmet or his hands. Incomplete near midfield. Jalen Dunlap, the senior corner, on the coverage.
Well, the battle of the ones, Dunlap matching up with Cobbs. Usually Cobbs comes down with it. I don't think Cobbs ever saw this ball. It looks like it hit him right in the face mask. He tried to pull a Little Giants. Remember that one in Little Giants where it's stuck in the face mask?
So we're going to see the annexation of Puerto Rico next, right?
Next, right.
That's the next play?
Absolutely.
You think we'll see that matchup throughout, Dunlap against Simi Cobbs today?
I thought it'd be Hobbs on Cobbs, but Dunlap initially matched up with him.
Now on third down, empty backfield for Lagow. He has time throwing it. It's Cobbs sliding, and near the first down marker, it's a catch and a first down for Cobbs, a pickup of 11.
Cobbs just sat down in space, right in between the numbers and the hash. The ball's low, but watch him scoop. Watch him get his forearm underneath the football in between Watkins and Dunlap.
Going on the field was a completed catch.
Our referee today is Ron Snodgrass. If that is a catch, that's the 60th catch this season for Simi Cobbs. He came in tie with Maryland's DJ Moore with most receptions amongst Big Ten receivers.
Let's take a look at this. He goes low for it. I thought that was a catch all the way. It looks to be a catch right there from that angle, getting his forearm underneath. We talked to the replay officials before the game and said, we're going to stop the game more often than not because Indiana goes so fast. We want to make sure we get it right. I don't see the ball come out. As you see Watkins kind of block the vision of the ball there. They said, we're going to replay it more times than not. Because of the pace, we'll make sure we get it right.
After review, the Williams throw is confirmed. Completed catch, first down.
So it is a catch, so Indiana converts on third and long, and Indiana on third down, that's been a struggle, just 37% conversion rate last amongst all Big Ten teams. If you're looking for the Rutgers-Penn State game, go to btn.com/gamefinder right now to see where you can find the game in your area. Ellison, the tailback, to Lagow's left. On first down, it is Ellenson running up the middle, stacked up near the 40, but that pile keeps on moving forward to around the 42-yard line, tackled by Dele Harding after a pickup of 7.
They're high on Morgan Ellison out of Ohio, was injured in high school. You can see his numbers, though, as a freshman. 4.6 a carry in the Big Ten. Hard to do as a true freshman.
Indiana will play fast offensively all day. Timian wide open on the crossing route. First down inside the Illinois 40. That's been a popular play that opposing teams have thrown against Illinois all season long.
This is the scouting report on Illinois. They're going to play the outside leverage man-to-man, a drag route right across the middle of the field. Timian matched up on Watkins. Lagow knows where he's going the whole time, hits Timian in stride. Timian's caught 42 balls the last 4 games, one of the hottest receivers in the Big Ten.
It's his 55th catch on the sweep and a big hit across the 35-yard line. Wap Fillier had the carry, but Cameron Watkins, the guy that plays nickel for Illinois, provided the pop. No gain.
Wow, Cameron Watkins. That's how you form tackle somebody. Wap Fillier on the jet sweep. Watkins just got beat by Timian, came downhill, laid the wood on Fillier.
Davonte Williams comes in and running back to Lagow's left. On 2nd down and 10. Fillier in motion. Lagow steps up, pressure coming, and Lagow is going to be sacked back at the 44-yard line. Kenyon Jackson, who's back today after not playing last week, returning and providing the pressure, a loss of 7.
Yeah, pressure from the outside from James Crawford flushes Lagow, and then Kenyon Jackson able to work off Stepniak's block, the guard, to finish off on the sack. You got to protect a guy like Lagow, who's not as mobile as Ramsey.
It's good news for Illinois, getting both Kenyon Jackson and Tito Odenabo back inside defensively here today. Ian Thomas, the tight end, with a catch, but well short of the first down. Dragged down near the original line of scrimmage at the 34 by Patrick Nelson. Starting at safety today, Bennett Williams not playing today due to a violation of team rules. So Nelson starting at safety. Stanley Green not starting today, will play, moving Harvey Clayton up to safety in his absence.
Bennett Williams is a good football player, smart football player, 35 on his ACT, has made some plays all year at the safety position. That's a big loss for Illinois.
Nate Hobbs back to receive this punt from Hayden Whitehead, but first blown dead.
There was a late substitution. We'll replay the down. 4th down.
Indiana's dropped 4 straight. Illinois has lost 7 straight. Matchup today of 2 Australian punters. Hayden Whitehead for Indiana, redshirt sophomore. Freshman Blake Hayes will punt today for the Illini. Hobbs no chance on the return, and that one is down by Fant and around the 1 or no. Touchback. Rashad Fant got down there, tried to keep it out of the end zone, but could not. So we have a timeout here in Champaign. No score early on. Rashard Fant sprinting down in coverage on the punt a moment ago. Let's bring in Dick Honig, our rules analyst from Chicago. What do you think here, Dick? They ruled it a touchback.
Well, again, the difference between pro rules and college rules, it's the ball in relation to the plane of the goal line that determines touchback in college, where the feet determine touchback in the pro rule.
All right, Dick, thank you. Great to have Dick Honig with us all day long. So it begins at the 20-yard line. Jeff George Jr. starting today for Cam Thomas, looking deep, but that's incomplete. Intended for Caleb Reams, a tight end who worked with the wide receivers throughout the week. Might see Bobby Walker back up Lewis Dorsey at tight end today, so Reams a target right away for Jeff George Jr.
Yeah, and Reams was open early, working on Crawford. He threw it a little bit late, and they're both battling after the ball. Could have been a possible pass interference on Crawford if he looked like he pulled the right arm of Reams down.
Jonathan Crawford, his 36th career start today. That leads all Indiana players. So George on 2nd down will swing it out to Kendrick Foster, coming off his best game, and he is thrown down. Jacob Robinson and Crawford again combined at the stop after a gain of 5. 7th game for Jeff George Jr. this season, his 9th career start, his 5th this season. 9 touchdowns, Jay, but overall throughout his career, 13 picks with 9 throwing scores.
Plagued by the interceptions, put in some bad situations, some long down and distances. They've been behind big late in games, just throwing the ball up, but he's got to be a better decision maker if you're going to be a starting quarterback in the Big Ten.
Illinois without Malik Turner today. No Mike Dudek. Rayvon Bonner remains sidelined. So impacted big time injury-wise from the skill position standpoint. That's going to be dropped by Fant. That had pick 6 written all over it. Rashard Fant, the fifth-year senior. Boy, would he love to get that one back.
I don't know what Jeff George was looking at that. He's covered like white on rice by Fant. Fant is all over. There's no window there at all. He doesn't even throw it to the side where Thiemann can make a play on the ball. That's as easy as an interception as you ever get. Fant, a veteran player, don't throw the ball much at most quarterbacks. And Garrett McGee chats with him and says, that was ill-advised.
And that's one that Fant would love to have back instead of punt here from Hayes. Timian back to receive this punt. Ja'Shawn Harris out for the season. His third torn ACL as Timian shouldered out near the 40-yard line. A punt of 47, a return of 6. Dad's Day. Cool event taking place throughout this weekend. Dad's Day last year. Illinois beat Michigan State here. Richard Lagow on the second drive for the Hoosiers finds Timian quickly on a crossing route, and he's dragged down by Dunlap near a first down. He'll have it after a gain of 11.
Play action by Lagow sucks up the linebackers, and then they throw right behind the linebackers to Timian, who's one-on-one coverage against Dunlap.
Lagow looking deep. Simi Cobbs, and a flag thrown back at the 20-yard line.
It'd be interesting if this is offensive pass interference. Simi Cobbs awful physical on that route with Chris James.
Pass interference, offense, number 1, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Called Jay Lehman, so Chris James, who's back today, did not play the last two due to injury on the coverage, but that's going to be on number 1, Simi Cobbs.
Well, Simi Cobbs, before the ball got close to him, out was in the air, pulled back Chris James to prevent him from intercepting that pass. Simi Cobbs very physical in his route running. Every time you see Dunlap's been matched up on him, not Nate Hobbs.
After the penalty, this is Ellison running right side, stacked up across the 35-yard line, 38. Gain of 4. You see Peyton Ramsey, who did warm up for the second straight week, unable to play today. You were there for the injury against Maryland a couple weeks back, a leg injury.
Yeah, it took what some thought was a cheap shot on his knee, it looked like, against Maryland. Hasn't been able to recover yet.
And second down and long, they check down Timian. Timian slips across midfield, setting up third down at about 8. James on the tackle.
Timian's the man on third down for the Hoosiers. Lines up in the slot. Been matched up on Watkins, and so far he's been taking Watkins to the woodshed as far as defeating him in man-to-man coverage.
38 for Indiana.
Brookins the tailback. First time we have seen him today. And Lagow throwing on third down. In trouble, Lagow steps up, and that's swatted down incomplete at the line of scrimmage. James Crawford, the senior, and Bobby Roundtree combined on the pressure and the deflection.
Crawford can't get there working on Corey Cronk, but he's able to get his hands up late here, flushed by Roundtree, and Crawford able to knock it down.
Some momentum for Indiana, but then curved after the pass interference penalty on Simi Cobbs, and Indiana will punt for the second time today. Hobbs, fair catch, and he will haul it in inside the 10-yard line.
Up a little bit and develop, but he could be the future for the Illini.
George will hand it off. This is Foster, and he breaks one tackle, then leans forward across the 15-yard line. A gain of about 6. Take a look at the Auto Owners Insurance Impact Players shape for the Illini offense.
And it's Kendrick Foster, guy just ran the ball, led the team in rushing and receiving last week. Has had a down year compared to last year, but coming on as the season progresses late. Ricky Smalley turning into a bona fide big play threat for the Illini. 20-yard reception, 5 straight games. And Robert McCray playing with the potential that Tom Allen always saw for him. 2 sacks and a forced fumble against a very good Wisconsin front last week.
Good call out Smalling, one of many true freshmen who play, averaging nearly 16 yards per catch. Here's the toss. Foster across the 20. First down. Out of bounds. Near the 25-yard line. Andre Brown forced him out, but not before Foster picked up 8 and a first down for Illinois.
Look at T. Gray Scales there. Chris Covington. The linebackers are the strength for this Indiana defense.
Played all 80 snaps, both of them last week.
2 seniors. Scales been highly productive, especially the last 2 years. They're good on the run defense. They struggle a little bit on pass defense, but on run defense, for the most part, outside last week has been good.
Scales leading tackler, Covington third on this Indiana defense in tackles. Now George boots and throws out of bounds. He covers that time by Crawford. Gray provided the pressure on George. Second down. On second down, this is Foster. Cuts back once, and then the pile stacks up shy of the 30-yard line. Greg Gooch got there first. Gain of 4, but going back to Jeff George Jr. J, third stint as a starter. You see the career numbers, over 1,000 yards, less than 9 touchdowns, but 13 picks.
Started last year when Chase Crouch got hurt. Started after Chase Crouch got benched this year. Then Cam Thomas took his spot. Now he's back for his third. They're open the third time's the charm, but he's got to clean up the interceptions. Almost got picked off today by Rashard Fan already. Got to take care of the football. It's been in these third down situations, Corey, that he has struggled being accurate with the football.
Foster in motion now, top of your screen on third down and 6. Play clock at 4. In trouble is George. He slips away once. Gooch then can't tackle him. And now George will throw, and did he stay in bounds? He did, and that ball is caught short of the first down by about a yard. Caleb Reams made the catch, his first catch this season. So fourth down and about 1, and Illinois will punt.
So McCray flushes him with the pressure. That's our impact player. Ned will get it. Gooch almost gets it. And DeLauro, the tackler, pins him. And kudos to George here. Instead of throwing it back across his body to the middle of the field, worked it in the sideline and threw it to Reams. Not enough for the first down, but still a good decision.
So Hayes on for a second punt. The wind at Hayes' back, and that will push Timmy in a catch inside the 15, backtracks to the 10, and then is ripped out of bounds and around the 15-yard line on a chilly Saturday in Champaign. Lagow and the Hoosiers inside their own 20-yard line. Ian Thomas, the tight end, in motion. And this is Lagow keeping and flattened by Watkins.
That play right there highlights the difference between Richard Lagow and Ramsey. Ramsey's a guy that can make people miss in space off the zone read quarterback keep. Lagow's not that guy. He just keeps it every now and then to keep the defense honest. Woods was honest, okay, made the tackle for a loss.
You saw number 33 back for Illinois defensively today. Trey Watson back at linebacker after missing the last 3 with injury. Wide open and a catch. First down, Fillier across the 30-yard line. Mr. Elias D'Angelo Fillier, also known as Whop. Why, as a kid, his favorite sandwich, the Whopper, and that stuck.
That's a great anecdote right there. Whopper of a play for Whop. You know, he had his coming out party against Maryland, really made some key plays down the stretch 2 weeks ago. They knew Whop Fillier could be dynamic in the open field. Came to camp a little bit late, got a slow start in the season, but near the end of the season, he's turned into a real weapon in the passing game for the Hoosiers.
He's all Big Ten freshman in receptions, adding one there on a first down. Now Ellison. He hurdles across the line of scrimmage, a gain of about 3, tackled by Jamal Milan and Lovie Smith. Good things to say about the play of Milan and others over recent weeks.
Said Milan's a legitimate Big Ten tackle, playing well later in the season.
Now Lagow with time, throws near side, and Cobbs a drop. On a bit behind the redshirt junior.
It's uncharacteristic of Sidney Cobbs to have 2 drops in a game, let alone 2 drops in a corner. He's going to slip out of his break. Right there, you see. He didn't really slip. Jalen Dunlap's the one that slipped. Hits him right in the breadbasket, but he took his eyes off the football at the last second. Not sure why. It wasn't any yards after the catch. Uncharacteristic for Sidney Cobbs.
Brookins back in a tailback. Haven't seen Cole Guess yet today. He is a possibility to play today. Simi Cobbs the catch. Spins away once, and then he'll be shy of the first down near the 39-yard line. Delshawn Phillips, the Illinois leading tackler, with one there, a gain of 4, and Lagow coming out. Punting unit coming back in.
That call doesn't necessarily make sense to me. You got a 3rd and 7. You run a 3-yard route to Simi Cobbs, who's not your best yards after catch guy. That'd be Watt Villier or Luke Timian.
Indiana got away from going over the middle that time in the passing game. That's been there so far against this Illinois defense.
Absolutely.
So Whitehead, his third punt. Hobbs with a fair catch at the 22-yard line. All right, Mike, thanks. Huge game. Big Ten, both teams 5-1 atop the East.
Whoever wins that game is on the fast track to being the division champion in the East to most likely face Wisconsin. You can wrap it up today.
Here's Dorsey. Freshman tie it in motion on first down. George rolling. And now plants and throws deep at the 40, incomplete. Crawford on the coverage, intended for Ricky Smalley. George thinking about the deep pass there. It was one-on-one coverage and incomplete pass, second down.
This is a double move by Smalley, but Crawford is all over him. And George just throws it up, thinks that Smalley can go up and get it. He's done this. It's a 50-50 ball. Hits Smalley in the hands, then bouncing off of Crawford's hands. One thing about Jeff George, he'll throw it up and give his receivers a chance, even if DBs are there.
Smalley 6'1", 205. Crawford 6'2", 203. Smalling a freshman, Crawford a junior. On second down, here's the toss. Foster slips free across the 25 at a good run. Shy of the first down near the 30, presenting third down and short. Mike Barwick, redshirt junior from Cincinnati, with the tackle after a gain of 8.
Good blocking up front. Nick Allegretti, 53, the center, pulling around here. See how he cuts, just gets enough in T-Gray Scales. Make the T-Gray Scales bounce outside, and Foster goes right inside. Allegretti playing left guard today. Played center last week in the absence of Doug Kramer, their best polling lineman and their best overall lineman. Legitimate all-Big Ten candidate if he was on a better team.
Kramer back today. Allegretti getting back to him. This marks his 22nd consecutive start today. On third down and short, George in trouble and sacked back to the 20. Indiana brought the pressure and they got home. Allen Stallings and others provided the pressure. Covington there as well, a loss of 9.
Tom Allen loves to bring pressure on third and long or third and short. You see Scales flushes him, and then Stallings and Covington clean up. Nobody's there to block Covington. But it was really Scales on Foster that caused that initial sack.
First down, tough to come by on both sides. Blake Hayes punt, Timian fair catch. Indiana will have it near its own 35-yard line with 2:39 to play. A punt of 41 yards.
It's like they're playing volleyball with punts. Going back, going forth. Nobody kind of wants to get past the 50.
46 yards.
Let's take a look at the Big Ten Conference standings, sponsored by Discover. Michigan State, Ohio State 5-1 in the West. Wisconsin's magic number, Jay, down to 1.
Absolutely. If they take care of business against Iowa, they'll do it. But that business is tough duty after what Iowa did to Ohio State with a 55-24 drubbing of the Buckeyes in Kinnick. Watch out for the Hawks.
Cole Guest, redshirt freshman, is the tailback to Lagow's left. It's a game-time decision, and Guest is buried in the backfield, a loss. James Crawford got free, as did Odenabo. Indiana dead last, Jay, in the conference in rushing yards per game, going up against an Illinois defense dead last in stopping the run.
But Tito doesn't look like it here. Inside move, hits Thomas, not even ready. Ian Thomas isn't ready, then he hits the tailback in the backfield. Tito Odenabo coming strong back after the injury.
Mike Majette remains out for Indiana. On second down, Lagow underneath, and it's caught. And this is Guest diving near the 38-yard line. It's the 5th catch this season for Guest. Tackled by Watkins, third down.
Really looking for more production on the tailback position. You know, such a tradition. Tevin Coleman, Jordan Howard, Divine Redding. Divine Redding leaves early for the NFL. Mike Majette's been banged up all year. They've really struggled that position to run the football. And of course, that's also a result of the young offensive line as well. Look how tight the coverage is. One safety, 12 yards back, snug.
So the numbers, how much it's been a challenge, and that one is intercepted. Jalen Dunlap picked it off right in front of Simi Cobbs. A skirmish breaks out between Cobbs and pretty much the Illinois sideline.
Well, the Illinois defense, Lovie Smith calling the game, puts Jalen Dunlap one-on-one on Simi Cobbs. This is something Simi Cobbs usually goes up and gets. But the position there by Dunlap on the inside, Cobbs never really gets on top of him. And then the ball is underthrown, and so it's right to Jalen Dunlap, who gets his eyes back, uses his hands to the receiver. This is what Lagow does. Sometimes he'll throw balls ill-advised into coverage. Easy pick. Not a bad suplex by Cobbs, but we're not in WWE. We're playing Big Ten football, and it's a pick for Lagow.
Now, minus 11 on the year. Indiana in turnover ratio, dead last amongst all Big Ten teams. So now a run for Foster. He's tackled at around the 48-yard line, a gain of 4.
Initially, we thought Hobbs was going to do the coverage against Cobbs. Nate Hobbs on Simi Cobbs. But the strength of Dunlap, their most physical corner, I think, is why he's been on Simi Cobbs. Done a good job thus far.
We were chatting with Hardy Nickerson earlier this season about the best cover corner Illinois has, and one would think the senior Dunlap, but he spoke great things about the freshman Nate Hobbs.
Right.
And how much he has improved as the season has moved along in that department. Under a minute to go in the quarter. On second down, Foster trying to stretch it, and he will be denied. Jacob Robinson got him at the end. Chase Dutra got there first, a loss of 2.
I want to see one of the best tackling safeties in the Big Ten. It's Chase Dutra. Got a starting role when Marcelino Ball was injured. Tony Fields moved to Husky. There's Dutra running his legs, and Robinson cleans up gang tackling. Dutra's a guy that had double-digit tackles 3 or 4 last weeks in a row. 4 phaser on special teams is important to this football team.
A career-high 15 tackles in the loss against Wisconsin last week. Under 10 seconds to go. It's a 3rd down and 8 for George in a scoreless game. It's Foster. Foster stays in bounds, but then is dragged down well shy of the first down. At the line of scrimmage, Tigray Scales in pursuit, and that will be the last play of the opening quarter. Off the turnover, Illinois does nothing with it. 4th punt already into the wind for Blake Hayes, and a fair catch pulled down by Timian near the 10. Just 5 first downs combined in the opening half. Indiana had 4 of them. 39-yard punt as Tom Allen's team will take over in a scoreless game. Richard Lagow starting today. He and Peyton Ramsey both warmed up, but Lagow starting for the 2nd straight week.
Tom Allen, in part, got this job for his tremendous turnaround of the Indiana defense last year. They were able to force turnovers. Now they're minus 11 in the turnover ratio category. That's worst in the conference. And you asked Lovie Smith about the turning point in the Purdue game was after the muff punt, that Jackson Anthrop drop, they were unable to convert and get points. There, they got a chance at midfield, unable to convert and do anything with the turnover.
A turning point for Indiana last week, the controversial fumble on Morgan Ellison in the 2nd quarter that led to a Wisconsin touchdown, and the Badgers led the rest of the way. Taysir Mack slips after the catch at around the 15-yard line. The true freshman from Brooklyn, his 10th catch of the season, did not catch a ball last week, a gain of 5. Second down, Lagow throwing, and he finds Mack again, and this would be a catch and a first down. Shy of the 25-yard line. Nate Hobbs on the coverage, so back-to-back plays to Mack, 1 for 5, that one for 9.
The inside routes are open all day on outside leverage man-to-man that Illinois plays.
Now it's Guest in a hole. Cole Guest across the 35, and the best run today by far for Indiana. That's a first down near the 40, a gain of 16.
Lucky Stanley Green was able just to get enough of Guest. You see Hunter Littlejohn with the block as the center. Just gets enough to bring him down.
Catch for Mack, tackled by Hobbs. Illinois was bringing in guys very late.
When Indiana gets a first down, that's when they love to really turn up the tempo, catch Illinois off balance.
On second down and 4, it's Guest again, and he is stacked up around the 49. If that's where the spot is, that'll be a first down. 49-yard line of Illinois, and it is a first down, and Indiana's going to keep the tempo going here. It's been all guessed on this drive, and maybe some miscommunication there, and it is going to be guessed with the carry as Lagow held on to it. That's a gain of 3, second down. So Lagow got a motion first down. I'm not sure if he realized the prior play got them first down.
That's a good point. It was not clear if he knew that or not.
Guess now comes out on second down and 7. Crawford coming, hit as he throws. That ball is out. It's a live ball, still loose on the field. And this will be recovered by Indiana. James Crawford had a chance to pick that up and run with it, but he tried to pick and run instead of just pounce on it.
Trying to scoop and score, because that's the goal of Lovie Smith's defense, to score. Watch Crawford. He's going to get the ball out here. Beats Kronk on the speed rush, and Jalen Dunlap's going to have the ball bounce up into his lap, unable to scoop it, and the offensive lineman for the Hoosiers able to fall. A huge break. Would have been the second turnover in as many drives for the Hoosiers. Got a fortunate bounce.
It was Crawford on the pressure, and Dunlap the one who had a chance to pick it up and run, did not. So a missed chance there. Instead, Indiana keeps it. Brookins the catch, and he was dragged down near the line of scrimmage by Dunlap. Now fourth down, and Indiana will punt again.
Nobody's around. Just scoop it up, but you got to look in and in as well. And Coy Kronk, he's the one who gave up the sack. A lot of times it's the tackle that gave up the sack who sees the ball come out, able to get on the ball. Dunlap already had one pick last drive, almost had a scoop and possibly a score if he did it clean. Missed opportunity.
So it was Richard Fant who missed on a chance in the first quarter. Could have been a pick six, and now who knows, Dunlap. He picks that up cleanly and goes. That could be a score. Fourth punt for Hayden Whitehead, and a fair catch for the Illini near the 14-yard line.
Part of those great Bill Mallory teams in the 80s and early 90s.
It's 34 yards of total offense for Illinois so far, and Foster trying to add on to that. He will. Picks up about 5. Tackled by Jamaris Bowen. Tigre Scales is back out at his linebacker spot for Indiana after leaving the field slowly last time we saw him defensively, but there is Scales. Good sign for Indiana. George, 2 of 6 passing, 8 yards. On second down, the toss, Foster, and he is plowed down to the field by Gavin Everett. Down to the back of Foster, and he slammed him down to the turf. Third down. So the first 4 drives for Illinois today has led to 4 punts.
In a word, anemic. It's been pretty poor play offensively. 5 yards, 24 yards, minus 1 yard, and 6 yards, 4 punts. You just got to get more for your defense's sake as well. He's going against a very high-tempo offense.
Just noticing the loss of skilled position players and offensively for Illinois. Malik Turner out today. Mike Dudek still out. No Rayvon Bonner as well. On third down, George in trouble, and George is going to be sacked. Gooch, with his 3rd sack of the season, got there first, and Gavin Everett cleaned up. Greg Gooch got there first, the senior, then the redshirt sophomore Everett helped out, a loss of 11.
They had Greg Gooch matched up on Bobby Walker, the tight end. You'll see him on the top of your screen, and he does the old pull the shirt over the head. Watch Gooch on the left side of your screen, just pulls Bobby Walker down by the head. Is able to make the sack on Jeff George. Bobby Walker getting his first significant playing time. That's a mismatched tight end on defensive end.
Pressure coming, and that one nearly blocked. Richard Fant trying to receive this punt. That might have been partially tipped as Indiana brought the house, and I don't know how Blake Hayes got that one away. He did, 34 yards, but Indiana looked to be all over that. Tyler Green was leading the charge. See Mike DeBoer, the first-year offensive coordinator on the left. Indiana's offensive coordinator, Lovie Smith, of course, the head coach. 2 guys that know each other well. Mike DeBoer was on Lovie Smith's staff with the Chicago Bears coaching tight ends for a couple of years. And a lot of respect between both men during our conversations this week.
What's interesting with the absence of Hardy Nickerson, Lovie Smith's calling the defense, Mike DeBoer's calling the offense.
Played Lagow too high for Simi Cobbs. coverage.
Sidney Cobbs looked like he's holding his hands. I wonder if his hands are okay. He's dropped 2 balls already. Obviously, we have no word of an injury or not. Shaking off his right hand. Usually very sure-handed. Tied coming into the game with DJ Moore for the receptions lead in the Big Ten Conference.
Full guess back at a tailback. Pressure coming, and Lagow rolling and throwing incomplete. Intended for Chris Gajak. So 3rd down and 10 before Lagow and company go back to work. We'll check in with Mike Hall in Chicago in this T-Mobile studio update. All right, Mike, thanks. Sidney Cobbs shaking that right hand, but back in on 3rd down and 10.
Watch out for Davonte Williams, always in the game for a purpose.
Sure enough, right on cue it is Williams falling down but catching. It'll be short of the 1st down inside the 40-yard line. So 4th down, and call it 3, maybe 4. Indiana go for it here.
I think they're going to go for it and look for Luke Timian, number 25. He's their big possession receiver. But when Davonte Williams, number 2, comes into the game, into the backfield, exceptional receiver, probably the best speed of any of the backs, scored a touchdown against Wisconsin. And Timian's in the backfield, so something's up right now.
Timian to the left of Lagow, and now he splits out wide. Williams, the tailback. Lagow throwing, and it's caught wide open. 1st down across the 35-yard line near the 31. And sure enough, it is Davonte Williams, his 8th catch of the season. And that's 1st down for Lagow, and the Hoosiers a gain of 8.
They're going to turn the tempo up now. If Davonte Williams in the backfield, it's got to be an alert to the linebackers. Mismatch. Cover.
8 first downs now for Indiana. Just one to the Illini. Lagow pressured, and that's not going to go as a sack. A gain, in fact, of about 1. Tito Denebo got there, along with James Crawford. 2nd down.
Timian's wide open right now. He should just throw it right now with this alignment. Not sure what the alignment is.
Send it to toss. This is Williams. Williams off the right side. Takes it. Keeps on running inside the 20. It'll be 1st down for Indiana. Delshon Phillips on the pressure, but not before a gain of 14. Indiana moving the ball here to score this game.
Elmo, he's played well defensively thus far. Looks tired on this drive. The tempo taking its toll.
On 1st down, Lagow throwing quickly. Mack, he's been a popular target today. It's a catch inside the 10. Indiana can't get a 1st down at the 6, a gain of 7. Taysir Mack had 9 catches all year. He has been targeted often today. So it's 3rd down and 1. Allison, the tailback, to Lagow's right. Timian in motion, and it is a flip to Timian trying to run it, cuts back, and he is dropped. Maybe a loss on the play. He lost about a half yard, so 4th down and short. They went for it earlier on, I beg your pardon, 3rd down, excuse me.
Interesting they ran that play to Timian. Doesn't have elite speed, more quick than fast. Usually that's a Whop Fillier play, and he had to change direction at the last second. Had no speed going into the jet sweep motion, which it was.
So 3rd down and 1. Ellison up the middle. 1st down inside the 5. So on 3rd and short, the freshman Ellison with the carry. 1st and goal, a gain of 5.
Yeah, just working up into the interior. Stepniak leading the way. Little dive play.
10th play of this drive coming up for Indiana. 1st down and goal.
Unbalanced line. Usually when they're unbalanced, they run the football to Ellison. They've struggled in the red zone.
It's a handoff. Ellison up the middle. Touchdown, Indiana. 4th rushing score for Morgan Ellison. 6-0 Hoosiers.
Well, the scouting report is unbalanced line. Inside the 5-yard line, they're going to hand the ball off to Ellison. Everyone in that defense knew where the ball was going to go. Just unable to execute. Indiana able to jam it in.
The 5th-year senior, Luke Rose, is semifinalist with the Oaks. And And the extra point is perfect. And we have a timeout, and we have a score.
Indiana team that's gained some momentum offensively.
Foster 9 carries, 42 yards, and this is George throwing. Pressure coming, looking deep, trying to find Dorsey, and it's incomplete. Flag thrown. Dutra on the coverage with Dorsey, the fifth-year senior, going up against the freshman tight end from Jacksonville.
And Dutra panicked a little bit on that play.
Pass interference, defense, number 30, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Talked about having to get to your playmakers, and they try to do it with Lewis Dorsey. And right before we saw the picture there, it looked like Dutra grabbed Dorsey during his route. You'll see it right there. And then he lets go near the end, but it's enough to deter Dorsey enough that he can't get to the football. You can see he takes a shot from Big Nate Hoff, the strongest Hoosier football player there is.
6'2", 310, fifth-year senior. So the penalty, the ball moves up to the 40-yard line. On first down, Foster up the middle. And he runs into Jacob Robinson. Junior from Westfield, Indiana. Flag comes in near the Illinois backfield.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 63, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's on the guard, Alex Palczewski. One of the more physical linemen for Illinois. Watch him in the center of your screen, 63. And, you know, it looked like he had his shoulder pad, Jacob Robinson's shoulder pad flap, not his face mask. By that look, tough call for the freshman lineman. Garrick McGee says, Alex Palczewski, one of my favorite guys because of his attitude when he plays offensive line.
With an injured ankle, but the true freshman able to start today. So after the pass interference penalty, now the personal foul. Puts the ball back at the 25-yard line. 6 to go in the half. George again, deep towards the side, and that is caught by Tradenard Davis, back healthy today. He and Carmani Green were out last week. They're back healthy today, and there's George's best throw and catch here so far this afternoon.
How about dropping it in the bucket? On the corner route, Jeff George. Watch this, you see Tradenard Davis one-on-one with Smalley, and Crawford's on the coverage. Just drops it right over Crawford's head. Crawford never saw it.
8th catch of the season for Davis. That one goes for 31 yards. Foster leaves the backfield. He's lined up, top of your screen. Flag thrown. We play on. George over the middle, and that is caught by Davis. Climbed the ladder, pulled it down. Up in the air, and Davis back-to-back catches.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Take that play away.
So Illinois can't get out of their own way. Had the face mask on Palczewski that set him back. They were able, with a big pass play to Davis, to overcome that. And another big pass play by Davis gets nullified. So it was illegal motion. It looked like two men were in motion at the same time. You can shift, but you can't have two people in motion at the same time. And I think that was the mistake by the offense.
Foster and Davis, it looked
Correct.
like there simultaneously. So from the Indiana 49-yard line, 7-0 Hoosiers. Illinois on the move. Here's the toss. Foster trying to stretch it. Scales drags him out for virtually no gain. Kendrick Foster, the guy who led Illinois last year in rushing, touchdowns, and all-purpose yards. He's been go-to guy so far today.
1,300 all-purpose yards a year ago. Got beat out by Mike Epstein, and then Rayvon Bonner beat him out. Now both those players are gone, so now it comes full circle back to Kendrick Foster. Their best offensive weapon right now.
This is so long ago. He was 4th on the depth chart. Pressure coming. George in trouble. Steps up. Loses the ball at the 41-yard line. And it's recovered by Illinois. George jumped back on top of it. Robinson and Nate Hoff in pursuit.
So Robinson flushes him along with Scales. Just sloppy ball handling. You want to keep that ball up by your chin. Watch him drop it by his hip. Just pops out of his hand. He's fortunate to be able to flop on that ball. Sets up a tough third down, but it's better than giving up the ball on the 41.
Loss of 9. First down markers all the way at the Indiana 34-yard line. Now George rolling, navigating, throwing. It's Davis spinning towards the 46 and then is dropped well shy of the first down.
Indiana just guarding the sticks, guarding the first down marker. They'll gladly give up that ball to Davis and force the punt here on fourth down. Traynard Davis, a guy that hasn't caught many balls at all this season, was very active on that drive.
Instead, it's Blake Hayes. This is his 6th punt of the half. Punting into the wind. And Timian fair catch inside the 10. Today, 5 different guys have carried, 8 different receivers. Spreading the ball around. Lagow and company. Ellison, a 2-yard touchdown run on the last Indiana drive. Now Lagow inside his own 10. Cole Guest, the tailback, and here is Guest. Big hole up the middle. Across the 20, 25, stiff arms his way to the 35-yard line. Nate Hobbs finally forced him out, but Guest has provided a spark in the backfield, Jay.
Well, they said that they're going to have some wrinkles. Mike DeBoer did offensively in the run game. Where they're lining up Ian Thomas is different. They're lining him up in between the guard and the tackle. They're doing it again, and the linebackers are having problems reading the play.
Now Guest again, and he slips free the first time and dropped across the 40-yard line by Jamal Woods. Sean Phillips got there as well in the tackle, gain of about 6. Indiana, all 3 timeouts. See the numbers on Cole Guest. 5'8", redshirt freshman from Lyndhurst, Ohio. He's 195 pounds. He was a game-time decision, playing well this half. Lagow over the middle, Mack to catch it. He is dropped by Phillips. Took a big hit, but hung on to it. And a first down for Indiana, gain of 7.
Phillips is the free man in this man coverage concept, and he just lines up. Tayseer Mack, good clean hit with the shoulder pad.
Cole Guest the run. On 22:05 to play.
One reason Indiana is able to go so fast is they don't substitute. They're able to keep Ian Thomas. He's so versatile to block in the run game and receive in the passing game. They don't have to substitute, they can go fast.
On second down, this is Guest the catch, and he is ripped down by Watkins shy of the first down. And around the 44-yard line. Gain of 3.
Seen very little pressure from Illinois. Levy Smith calling the defense, imploring his guys to get up closer, guard the sticks. They're really tight on the receivers now.
Guest comes out. Davonte Williams back in on 3rd down and 2. It's Lagow looking, has Williams open, and he drops it. Could have been a better throw there from Lagow as Williams was wide open, had to reach down and could not complete the catch, 4th and short.
Well, Patrick Nelson back on the field, 21. Horrible eye discipline. Watch 21. He looks back at the quarterback, but Davonte Williams run into the flat. That's when you watch the quarterback throwing balls to your man for completions. Big time drop on a 3rd and short. Now it's a 4th and short, and they're going to go for it.
Second time today, going for it on 4th down. They were successful on the last touchdown drive. Now Brookins, the tailback, to Lagow's left on 4th and short. And a flag thrown, free play. Lagow throwing far side. It's up for grabs, and it's pulled down by Simmie Cobbs. Makes a man miss. Another miss, and now tiptoes out of bounds inside the 10. The hard count forced some movement on the Illinois front. Free play, and then Lagow found Cobbs, a play of 36.
They hard counted twice. First they hard counted, then they looked to the sideline, then they hard counted again. Got the defensive lineman Odenigbo to jump. So watch this. Does the old Aaron Rodgers get him to jump off sides and then go deep? Free play to Simmie Cobbs. And watch Cobbs. This is what he's so good at when he goes up and gets the football. And watch his best Floyd Mayweather. Dodging everybody. Hard to get a clean shot on him. So good. Underrated in yards after catch as well.
Now the toss, Ellison, and he is tackled. Flag thrown back at the 8-yard line. Dele Harding on the tackle.
Offsides again. 2 in a row for Illinois.
Offside. Defense, number 21. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Patrick Nelson, sophomore safety. Illinois get the ball first to start the second half.
This formation with Ellison in the backfield has been mostly run with Ian Thomas.
Now Lagow throwing, and that's caught for a touchdown. Ian Thomas, the senior tight end. His 4th touchdown reception this season. Indiana with their 2nd score today, and the Hoosiers lead by 13.
It's a good run. The red zone when they need 7 points, what do? They just have him keep going in motion, have nobody block. He doesn't block, goes out for the route, touchdown, Hoosiers.
Oaks bangs it through. See Richard Lagow starting for the 2nd straight week. Touchdown pass a moment ago to Ian Thomas. Back-to-back scoring drives for Indiana. Now a 14-point lead. 48 seconds to go, Jay, until halftime.
Ian Thomas, one of the better tight ends in the Big Ten. It's a good tight end conference. Troy Fumagalli at Wisconsin, Mike Gesicki at Penn State. I'll tell you what, Ian Thomas, versatile player, was banged up in the middle of the year, came back in the Maryland game briefly, got more full speed against Wisconsin, full speed today.
This will be returned by Hobbs. Hobbs across the 20. And he'll be stopped near the 25, although the pile keeps on moving forward towards the 28-yard line. Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report coming up. Mike and the guys, as soon as we wrap up the first half here in Champaign. A lot of action going on in the Big Ten. And still to come later on today and tonight. Coming up on the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. So Jeff George Jr., 4 of 8 passing, 51 yards. Illinois as a team, only 65 yards of total offense. The Illini do have all 3 timeouts remaining. First down, it's a run for Foster. A gain of about 4. Tackled by Dutra. And the clock will stop.
Interesting, Indiana looked like they took the timeout.
Well, Griffin Oaks has a big leg. They get the ball back. Wind is at their back. Who knows with the timeout? Indiana calling a timeout. 2nd down and call it 5 for the Illini, down by 14. Jeff George Jr. starting in place of Cam Thomas, out today with a concussion. And it's a run, Foster. Tackled shy of the first down. 3rd down and call it 2 as the clock will stop again. Indiana calling its 2nd timeout, 3rd and short. We'll see Tom Allen chatting with 5th-year senior safety Chase Dutra.
Not uncommon on 3rd and short for Allen to bring pressure. Especially he's trying to get the ball back, obviously. Give his offense a chance to put some points up before the end of the first half.
Indiana calling timeout, back-to-back plays. Dorsey in motion on 3rd and 2. Foster left side, and he will be denied. Indiana playing the run, and they got their loss of 1. Andre Brown, the tackle, and now the Hoosiers will call their last timeout. They will get the ball back. 25 seconds to go until halftime, leading by 14. Now you see Griffin Oaks warming up just in case. He's got a big leg, hit a 58-yarder against Maryland back in 2014, having a great year. But another punt here from Blake Hayes. That's a wobbler. Bouncing inside the 30-yard line. And this will be downed by the Illini at the 20. So Indiana again brought pressure and nearly got there. 45-yard punt. No timeouts remaining. Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report coming up momentarily. So 14-0 Indiana lead. This game was scoreless for a large part of this first half. Back-to-back scoring drives for Tom Allen and the Hoosiers. Ellison a touchdown run, and Thomas a touchdown catch.
Look at the end of this punt. This is a young player, Mark Mondesir, Io Shabagno. He downs the ball. Don't down the ball. Let the clock bleed. They say let it bleed out. I know it's only 2-3 seconds. Maybe it's a moot point with the knee here, but it's those little things that create the difference in football.
So Lagow a knee, and that will be the final play of the half. Indiana needs to win out to reach a bowl game. The Hoosiers haven't won 3 straight Big Ten games since 1993 and have not won their last 3 regular season games since 1946. That's still the plan for the Hoosiers, trying to reach a bowl game for the 3rd straight year. Oaks sends this one away. And this will be returnable for Hobbs. Across the 20 and then is smothered near the 22-yard line. Around the Big Ten right now, Ohio State clobbering Michigan State. Rutgers hanging in there, and Happy Valley. And how about the one there at the bottom, Minnesota, up by 16 at home against Nebraska.
Which one's more surprising, Ohio State clobbering Michigan State or Minnesota taking Nebraska to the woodshed, up by 16 at half?
4 wins overall, both teams in that game, Minnesota and Nebraska.
A lot of 4-win teams out there for the Big Ten, right? We've got possibly Indiana after this game, Rutgers, Purdue.
It is Georgia quarterback and a perfect throw. It's caught by Dorsey. Dorsey's going to go all the way. 1 play, 1 pass, 1 score. Touchdown, Illinois.
72 yards in the first half, 77 yards the first play of the second half. Jeff George starting the second half with a bang. Chase Dutra one-on-one. Lewis Dorsey stems the outside, then comes back inside, and Dorsey just out-athletes him, runs by him, and has the speed as a skilled tight end to take it the distance for 6.
A career-long 77-yard touchdown pass from Jeff George Jr. to freshman Lewis Dorsey, and the extra point is good.
Lewis Dorsey, a skilled tight end when it comes to catching the football in space. Probably their best offensive weapon with the injuries. Watch him lined up on the end right here. You'll see Dorsey work up the field on safety. Chase Dutra stems to the outside, then breaks it back inside for the post route. The field was vacated by Jonathan Crawford, who was helping on Trenard Davis. Dorsey has the speed to take it to the house. Freshman from Jacksonville, Garrett McGee, very high on Lewis Dorsey. Tremendous ball skills for a tight end. Not great at blocking, a great receiver, though.
It's the 6th catch for Dorsey this year of 20 yards or more. That one from 77. And a touchdown. Davonte Williams will take it out, and Williams has some space, and then that closes up across the 20. And he is down near the 25-yard line. So how will Indiana respond? Dorsey and George connecting on a 77-yard play. 14-7. That 81% of the offensive touchdowns scored by true freshmen. Adding to that, Dorsey a moment ago with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season.
You think they got some offensive production coming back next season? And then the next season? And then the next season?
Richard Lagow in the first half. 189 yards passing, a touchdown and a pick. And they hand it off to Cole Guest. He ran hard in the first half, and this one, another tough run. Pick up about 6 yards. Guest, 8 carries now up to 66 yards. It was a game-time decision. Did not play last week, and a solid start for the redshirt freshman today. second down. Pressure coming wide open. This is Guest out of the backfield. First down across the 40 and then tackled at the 45. Good call there. Pressure coming. Lagow saw the open spot. Guest was wide open, picked up 15.
If you're going to play man-to-man coverage, the linebackers have to pick up the back. A blow-in coverage, nobody went out to get Cole Guest. He's open, scot-free, easy pitch and catch.
Now a quick throw, that's incomplete, intended for Taysir Mack. Had 5 catches in the first half for 36 yards.
Lagow has a lot of RPOs. That's run-pass options. He can either hand the ball off or throw the ball there to Mack. I think he made the wrong decision there as Mack was covered by Hobbs very closely. Sets up a 2nd and 10.
Guest comes out. Davonte Williams, the tailback. To the left of Lagow. Crawford coming. Lagow steps up. That's tipped and incomplete. That was deflected by Kenyon Jackson. As the nickname Pitbull did not play last week. Good to go today.
I thought Illinois was going to be in man coverage, and they decided to go a little zone. You'll see that the hand gets up there by Kenyon Jackson. Not big for a defensive tackle, just 5'11". That's why they call him the Pitbull.
Indiana 2 of 9 on 3rd down.
Illinois mixing up coverage, guarding the sticks on 3rd and 10.
Bring 5. Lagow, a pocket, throwing deep, trying for Timian, incomplete at the 20. No flag. Hobbs on the coverage, Dunlap there as well. 4th down, and Indiana will punt.
Hobbs we thought would be matched up on Cobbs, but he shadowed Timmy in the slot receiver all day. And watch Nate Hobbs, doesn't panic. Sometimes freshman corners panic. You see how he feels him with his left arm, then able to come back, get his eyes back around at the last second. It's actually a decent ball thrown by Lagow. Lagow wanted a flag, thought there was too much contact, and Hobbs says, I'll just return the punt, no flag.
Hobbs now looking into the sun to receive this punt from Hayden Whitehead, his 5th punt. Illinois nearly got there, but a good punt. And Hobbs, no fair catch. He does pull it down, then he is going to be swarmed across the 15-yard line. So Illinois will have the ball when we come back. Cool moment here. Not long ago, Illinois against Nebraska here at Memorial Stadium. 72nd renewal today between these two longtime rivals. First time they've been in Champaign since 2012. Now George pressured and sacked back inside the 10-yard line. Nate Hoff, the 5th-year senior, got through, and he buried George. A loss back inside the 10-yard line, a loss of 8.
Nate Hoff's been disruptive, working on Alex Pelcheski. Just uses the bull rush, and that's a 5th-year senior going against a true freshman, and that's why you don't see true freshmen play on the offensive line that much. They're just not strong enough physically to hold up against experienced 5th-year seniors like Nate Hoff.
Illinois has now allowed 31 sacks on the season, far and away the most allowed in the Big Ten. So after a loss of 8, it's a run. Foster up the middle. And he'll be tackled across the 15-yard line.
That's a good point, Corey. You know, it's not all your quarterback's fault. It's your offensive line protecting your quarterback. There's a reason there's been 3 quarterbacks that have played for Illinois this season. 4 freshman starters, 3 true freshmen on the offensive line.
Now you ask opposing defensive coordinators, and we've seen Illinois quite a bit this season, about how rare it is to scout an offense going up against 4 freshman offensive linemen. And you bring it up, and the coordinator will tell you week after week, never seen it before. Pressure coming, George in trouble, and down he goes. Another sack. 4th one today. This one from Chris Covington, the senior from Chicago.
One of the better blitzing linebackers in the Big Ten. The scouting report in Indiana loved to blitz on 3rd and 10. You'll see Covington come off the edge, unblocked, and able to finish with the tackle. This is where they miss a guy like Cam Thomas, who would have been able to scramble in a moment like that. George sacked 2 out of 3 plays on that play, both of his passing plays.
This is the 8th punt for Blake Hayes. That's a new high. He had 2 games before today of 7 punts, and now 8 punts, and we're only early in the 3rd quarter. So good field position for Indiana. They will start from Illinois territory at the 49 after a punt of 39 yards. Indiana with the ball, leading by 7 first downs. That's been an issue for Indiana offensively all season long, Jay.
And oftentimes, Mike DeBoer likes to hurry up on first down, especially after he gets his first down of a drive. It hasn't led to efficiency and results, though. They've worst in the Big Ten on first down. Sometimes it's about execution over speed.
Lagow looking, pressured, now steps up, and Lagow's going to run. He'll slide and then hit at around the 46. And the Indiana sideline is irate that a flag was not thrown as Lagow began his slide. Then there was pressure and contact. Gain of 3, but we play on.
So Dele Harding comes in, and Dele Harding looks like he hit his lineman more. It was Owen Carney also hit Lagow as he slid down.
So gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Here's Williams, the left side, and he'll be tackled just across the 45-yard line by Tito Odenabo. Let's go back to the hit on Lagow a moment ago. To me, watch 99 come in at the end here.
Owen Carney, he's the one who has more contact than Dele Harding does on him. And here's the reaction from Tom Allen. Obviously not happy as he does jumping jacks on the sideline.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 5. Illinois bringing 4, and they hit Williams, and Trey Watson tackles him shy of the first down. Needed 5, picked up about 3. So wind is at the back of the Hoosiers right now. 4th and short. Do they go for it again here?
I think they're going to go for it. It's been an inability to really stop them in short yardage situations. You bring in Morgan Ellison as well. You got to think, why is he coming into the game?
See Indiana 2 of 2 on 4th down today. This is a 4th and 2, leading by 7. Lagow rolling, looking, now throwing, and that is going to be incomplete, intended for Cobbs at the 30-yard line. Cameron Watkins in coverage, and Indiana did not on 4th down for the first time today.
Well, the longer you go on any kind of 3rd or 4th down play, the more constricted and the space gets smaller and smaller. You can see Filliers covered by Dunlap, then Watkins. Cobbs is open for a moment. The ball's a little late, and Watkins able to play through the hands of Cobbs for the pass breakup. Big stop for an Illinois defense. Sets up the offense with some good field position.
Reggie Corbin, the tailback. Haven't seen him yet today. It's going to be a play-action pass, and George pressured, and again he goes down. Another Indiana sack. This one back at the 35-yard line. Jacob Robinson, the junior, with the pressure, the hit, and the sack. So back-to-back first downs for Illinois on drives, sacks.
3 of the last 4 plays, sacks. He wanted to go deep to Ricky Smalling. You talk about Reggie Corbin in protection. He's got to help out on Jacob Robinson. Corbin not able to help out. You can see Gooch in there as well on the sack. Protection has the hold up. He wanted Smalling down the field, who was open, but you have to give George time to throw the football.
6 sacks for Indiana, and that's a one-handed catch and a beauty by Dorsey. Wow! Pulled it down, and he is down right now, but he made one remarkable play. George steps up, in trouble, and McCray with the sack. Robert McCray with the 7th Indiana sack today. 8th career for McCray, up to 5.5 alone this year.
4 of the last 5 pass plays have been sacks. This is just a basic 4-man rush. You got to be able to protect your quarterback. First option's not open. You see McCray working on Palczewski, spins out of the block. McCray, the most explosive of all Indiana defensive linemen, making hay.
Like his 40th career game today, Robert McCray coming off a banner game against the Badgers, so just about every way forcing fumbles and sacks. And now it's 3rd down and long. The young offensive line, this has been an ongoing trend throughout the year. True freshmen.
Darian Lowe and Larry Boyd, usually their tackles go against your best pass rushers, and Alex Palczewski, he's playing banged up today with an ankle, and Doug Kramer, the center, is a redshirt freshman. So youth on the offensive line, something you just don't see. Usually the closer you play to the football in the box or on the offensive line, the older you have to be. The farther away you can play younger, as in Ricky Smalley or a true freshman corner, because it's more skill-based and not strength-based.
So Illinois 0 for 8 on third downs today. This is a 3rd and 14, and why not? Pressure coming. George rolling, looking, and now dumps it away. Indiana brought everybody. It was Scales, the end, who was forcing George to the boundary, but Gray, he got through rather early, and that play had no chance.
Yeah, McCray flushed George. If it wasn't for Bobby Walker's block on Tony Fields, throwing Fields into McCray would have been a sack again. They've really turned up the heat, not necessarily with blitzes, just the front four getting after the offensive line of Illinois.
Timian back to receive the punt. 9th punt for Blake Hayes, the freshman. Wobbling inside the 15-yard line, Timian shouldered out at the 22.
Look at that, 3.1 sacks allowed a game, most in the Big Ten, but they're doubling that today, at least. Only midway through the third quarter, 7.
Ryan Watercutter back up tight end in motion. Lagow throwing, and Ellison open and a lot of space. Ellison 35-40 shoved out, maybe just shy of the 40 by Stanley Green. Well-designed play and well-executed 18 yards. Lagow to Ellison.
These are mental errors by the Illinois linebackers. Nobody has Ellison in coverage. Nobody guards him. He's wide open, easy pitch and catch.
That play's been open today, whether it's been Williams or another guy in the backfield that has been open out of the flat. Second down, a run there for Ellison.
You see them going fast to get on first down. About their average, 4.5 yards of play on first down. That's what they do. They like to go fast.
The offense in the Big Ten goes faster than Indiana. Now Lagow off his back foot. That's incomplete, out of bounds for Simi Cobbs.
Richard Lagow's pass intended for Simi Cobbs, incomplete.
Lago's accurate when he sets his feet, but like you said, off his back foot, that's when his inaccuracy shows. One thing Peyton Ramsey has is a much more catchable ball than Richard Lagow. Lagow is a much more stronger arm.
So 35 attempts for Lagow already. Still plenty of football left. Indiana 2 of 11 on third down. Lagow throwing, and there's Williams open. Midfield, first down towards the 45, and that's been a popular spot to go all day for Indiana today, incorporating the running backs.
Well, anytime number 2's in the backfield, Davonte Williams, tremendous receiver out of the backfield. Something's up, and Illinois is not even lined up here.
Second down, I should say first down. It's going to be caught by Timian. Flag thrown, and Timian is wrestled down across the 35, and some more late flags. So we have flags near the Illinois sideline and 2 near the Indiana sideline.
Now here's a time where the tempo actually paid off. It seemed, unless the call's against Indiana, which I'm not sure what the call is, but it paid off in the play and the fact that it was a big gain as they discuss.
2 fouls on the
Ross
defense.
Snodgrass worked this out.
Offside, defense, that penalty's declined. Personal foul, late hit, defense, that penalty's accepted. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So the offsides negated, then the personal foul accepted, and that sets up Indiana quite nicely, leading by 7.
Gay brings him down. It looks like
Harvey Clayton, right?
Harvey Clayton getting the start today for Bennett Williams. Came late and came high.
Ellison eludes Nelson, lowers his shoulders down near the 10.
Seen good ball security for the most part from Indiana, other than the one fumble by Richard Lagow. Illinois leads the nation in forced fumbles. 15 forced fumbles now on the year for Illinois. Only gotten 1 out today.
Lagow went to the hard count that time. Illinois did not move on second down and 4. Lagow time towards the end zone, and that's incomplete and nearly intercepted by Jalen Dunlap. Intended for Luke Timian, but then it was really Dunlap with a better chance to catch that ball.
Timian's not a good jump ball receiver. He's good in the slot, but one-on-one with Dunlap, Dunlap sees the ball. Timian doesn't really make a play on the ball. It's Dunlap's hand. That would have been a tremendous interception, unable to haul it down. Dunlap's been solid in coverage today. And a pick already on Simi Cobbs. He's been matched up tough duty on Cobbs, and he's matched up one-on-one with Cobbs now.
Indiana can't get a first down at around the 6-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Ellison the tailback, but Lagow throwing, looking, and that's incomplete. Dropped by Mack at the 5. Taysir Mack, the intended receiver, and it was thrown sharply. And Mack, the redshirt freshman, could not complete the catch. And here comes Griffin Oaks.
He had some heat on this ball. Richard Lagow put a lot of mustard on it, and Mack doesn't look the ball all the way in. Here's in real time. It's a very catchable ball as far as location, but the speed of that ball makes it difficult for a receiver to catch.
28-yard try for Griffin Oaks. He has made his last 7. And now 8 in a row. A guy who's been so accurate throughout his remarkable career. A Lou Gross semifinalist. So Tom Allen's team adds 3. 10-point game, 5:13 to play. Hoosiers led 14-0 at the half. And Oaks the boot. And a return for Hobbs. The freshman slips away once, slips away twice, and then drives across the 25-yard line.
That's why you tuck in your undershirt.
He gets ripped down. Look at that. Back inside the 20.
Now, this isn't flag football, folks. This is actually padded football, but you'd think Hobbs has a flag. Look at the stuff hanging out. You can see he gets hog-tied there. He's on a string there. They pulled his flag, and then they tackled him. Hold on here. Come on, stay. Hold on.
Come on back. Come on back.
Nate Hobbs. That's why you tuck in your shirt.
Kendrick Foster. Good run. Flag comes in late. For now, it's a gain of 7. It's on for Darian Lowe, freshman. So a good play negated by another penalty.
Take another look at this. Look at Hobbs. Now look at it. It's all jersey here, the defender does, and literally he's like running in place. It's like a training drill. You know, you're trying to run against resistance, and he breaks free out like it's a couple yards after usually it's yards after contact. That was yards after the lasso.
Well, Alex Rodriguez, a guy who got some carries late in the game last week against Wisconsin, who had the shirt of Hobbs. After the penalty, it's Foster. It's planted down across the 21-yard line by Chris Covington.
Really like Chris Covington as a linebacker. He doesn't get near the publicity of T. Gray Scales, and rightfully so. T. Gray Scales has a ton of production, but Covington, very athletic, can cover the pass, but a tremendous blitzer off the edge as well. We've seen him with 1 sack already. Let's see if they dial up pressure again and bring him off the edge.
Indiana's going to bring back a ton of skilled players, good players offensively, but will take a hit is the look of his defense. Screen, and that's not happening. Incomplete, intended for Caleb Reams.
Well, the Husky Tony Fields, Husky position that is, Tony Fields not fooled at all on that screen to Reams. He ran the route for Reams. And then Jeff George is stuck in a 3rd and 13. There's Fields. He's filled in for Marcelino Ball. The loss of Marcelino Ball was the biggest injury for this Hoosier football team. What he can do, he's able to cover people man-to-man, a tremendous blitzer. Now, Fields is filled in admirably, but his true position is free safety. And they've been a man down without Marcelino Ball ever since he got hurt against Georgia Southern earlier in the year.
Here's Dorsey back on the field for Illinois, tight end, final part of the screen, and he goes out in coverage, and that is knocked down, incomplete. George took a hit, and a flag comes in from behind the play late. So George is slow to get up.
Talk about Chris Covington off the edge. So dangerous as a blitzer. laid the wood on George. This might be a defensive holding, though, or a pass interference on Andre Brown on Dorsey.
Defense. Number 14, 10-yard penalty. Third down.
So instead of fourth down and a punt and good field position, Andre Brown, guilty party.
Andre Brown, he's going to be matched up on 19, Dorsey. Dorsey back in the game after the injury. Covington's going to blitz, beat Pelcheski. See that pressure? Just such a good blitzer. Covington, tremendous at getting to the quarterback and so physical. You know, Dorsey has really provided all the offense for Illinois in the second half. The big play to start the half, the catch where he got hurt, and then he just provided a penalty. He's a weapon for the Illini.
He had the 77-yard touchdown catch. He had the 21-yard one-hand catch, and that led to the injury, but now back in and draws the penalty. So third down and 4, and this is Dorsey with a catch, and there's the first down today for Illinois.
And Lovie Smith wants Tigray Scales to be called for a late hit out of bounds. He's pretty upset. About as animated as you'll see Lovie Smith. There's Dorsey again working one-on-one on Scales. It's questionable. Let's see what Lovie Smith's saying, an extra step out of bounds. He definitely starts to tackle inbounds. I think there was any ill intent there. Probably a good no call.
Yeah,
I always go for the defender's side.
Gain of 11. Foster, he's ripped down. Here his shoulders.
Hard enough to play defense in this day and age of scoring, although you wouldn't know it in this game, but across college football, a lot of scoring. Hard to play is Kendrick Foster. He's had some touches today.
Von Bonner remains out. We've seen Reggie Corbin, albeit briefly. Mike Epstein out for the season. Malik Turner for Lovie Smith today. Mike Dudek is out. Indiana has brought pressure from the get-go. It's a second down and 9 and a run for Foster. And he'll have a run of about 4, maybe 5 to Indiana territory. Third down and call it 4. Kendrick Foster, the United States Marine Corps leader of the game. It's a Toughness Award. The National Football Foundation elected a co-captain today for the second straight week.
Volunteers a lot in the community. One of the leaders for the team as far as community service.
A 10-point game on third down. Foster is hit and dropped in the backfield. Jacob Robinson, we have called his name often today. He buried Foster for a loss of 3.
I'm not sure why Illinois called a run play on 3rd and 5. Nobody blocks Jacob Robinson. He simply comes through. He waits to see if George hands off the ball or keeps it and just tackles Foster. Watch Robinson. Nobody's going to block him. Now, you might be reading him, but meaning the quarterback might be reading, but they don't block McCray. They don't block Robinson. They've got to block somebody. Nobody blocks anybody. It's tackle for loss.
Return from Timian, not a great punt, although into the wind. For Hayes, that's smothered by Walker, backup tight end. Just a 28-yard punt for Blake Hayes. 95 seconds to go until we start the fourth quarter. 10 punts for Blake Hayes, the freshman from Australia. So Richard Lagow has moved the ball around to a variety of guys here today, Jay.
Talk about equal opportunity employers. What about equal opportunity throwers? This guy spreads the wealth around to wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. Part of Mike DeBoard's system is to use the tight end and running backs in the passing game to do that very well.
9th carry for Cole Guest, 65 yards, and adding to it. Across the yard line, tackled by Trey Watson and also Dele Harding.
Well, that's been the difference for the Indiana offense. They've actually been able to run the ball. They haven't been able to do that the last 2 or 3 weeks. Guest has really filled a void they've had as far as getting some yards on the ground.
And now Guest is hit, and this time dropped for a loss. Pressured well by Illinois that time. Jamal Woods, loss of 2, and I guess he's limping a little bit. And now he's going to come out. Timian comes in. Cole Guest, a game-time decision, did not play with an undisclosed injury last week against Wisconsin. He's had a really good day, but he leaves on 3rd and 5.
Cut for Ian Thomas, 3rd from the top of your screen.
Illinois bringing 4. Lagow stepping up. Lagow is going to be tackled near the first down. And again, just inside the 35-yard line, a pickup of 4. They're going to call that short, and 4th down. Daylay Harding with the tackle. So 4th and less than a yard.
I think he's just short. Obviously, I think they're going to wait out the quarter to think about it rather than use a timeout.
4th and 1 for Indiana.
Indiana will do just that. So 4th down decision for the Hoosiers as the 4th quarter begins. Tom Allen's team 2 of 3 on 4th down attempts here today. Indiana led 14-0 at halftime. George found Dorsey for 77 to make it 14-7, but then a Griffin Oaks field goal of 28. It's a 10-point game. The 4th quarter coming up, set to start the 4th quarter. Just about a 2-hour, 45-minute drive. Bloomington to Champaign. Nice to see the Indiana band here today on the road. So 4th and short, Indiana lining up for a punt. And they do just that. Fair catch already signaled and coming in and stumbling but hanging on to it is Hobbs near the 30-yard line. 41-yard punt.
Hobbs misjudged it a little bit. Good hands there. Didn't catch it. You usually catch a punt by putting your forearms together and creating a basket. There he just caught it with his hands.
So now the 4th quarter, can Indiana finish? Look at those numbers right there in Big Ten play. 77-19 outscored in the 4th quarter last week against Wisconsin. The last 10 minutes, the Badgers scored 21 unanswered.
This is really where their lack of depth shows. They get worn out in a football game, unable to give the proper rest. They've been able to give Covington and Scales rest, something they weren't able to do last game. You can see Damian Willis Jr. in there for Covington. Scales had Raekwon Jones in there in the 3rd quarter. So they've been able to rest. Let's see if it pays dividends now in the 4th quarter.
And Smalling's been quiet today. He's been a big play target for Illinois. We'll see what George and company do on 1st down. And George looking that way for Smalley. And there's a flag thrown. And that's a catch inside Indiana territory.
Colin Provis, the prophet. The predictor. Cole Smalley number.
That's declined 27 yards.
One thing Ricky Smalling's shown his ability to do is he's able to go up and get the ball in contested situations, working against Andre Brown, who's filling in for the injured Ashawn Riggins. You can see he just comes back to the football, gets his eyes in the ball, and attacks it.
Swing it out, Traynard Davis. Play there, out near the 40-yard line. It'll be short of a 1st down. Traynard Davis with the catch, the sophomore from Boynton Beach. Caleb Reams with a nice block. Riding that one to work.
Yeah, Reams got a block on the Husky position. Tony Fields. Could have been a big play if Scales wouldn't have been in pursuit to make the tackle.
On 2nd and 1. George throwing. There's Smalling, a catch and a 1st down inside the 25. He had position, and Andre Brown is slow to get up. Jeff George on 1st down with time, throwing deep towards the end zone. That is incomplete in the end zone. Intended for Sam Mays, broken up by Crawford. Sam Mays, a year ago, he caught 13 passes. This year, no catches. But with Illinois thinner and thinner by the day at wide receiver, Mays more of a factor today.
It's a no call on that, despite the contact by Crawford. Crawford never saw the ball, realized he was behind in coverage, so tried to make up ground. But that actually hits Sam Mays smack in the hands. He's got to be able to catch that.
It's a run for Foster, spinning across the 18-yard line. Then he stacked up about a yard shy of the 1st down. Call it the 14-yard line, so 3rd down and short. Gain of 9.
This is where the absence of Cam Thomas in the red zone really hurts Illinois. Mobile quarterbacks help a lot in the red zone. So much harder to defend. And if you're Illinois, you haven't been down in this territory much today. You're really hoping you get a touchdown.
Third down has been an issue for Illinois all day long. This is 3rd and 1. George throwing, and this is caught. Caleb Reams, first down inside the 10, kicked his feet to the end zone. That is going to be a touchdown for Illinois. Call on 3rd and 1. Garrick McGee goes to the air and goes to Caleb Reams, the sophomore wide receiver from Gurnee, Illinois.
Watch Caleb Reams here. He's going to do his best. We call this the old scalded dog. It's you have one hand down, 2 feet on the ground, stumbles into the end zone. Tremendous effort from the former tight end. And they're going to review if he actually made it in. It looked like from that first view it did. You know, Garrick McGee knows Tom Allen loves to bring pressure. They brought a run-stopping blitz on that. Left 3 receivers on 3 defenders. Reams able to break a tackle on Tony Fields for the touchdown. They're going to see if his knee was down beforehand.
Let's take a look. Reams.
Crawford. Fields right there with the tackle. I think that's a touchdown. Pretty clear. Tremendous effort, though, by Caleb Reams. So you can see the ball cross the plane. Hip's not down yet. Looks like his hip hit first before the knee.
Hand planted. Not down there. Not down there. That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. This call's going to be confirmed. Also got to look at his elbow. Elbow counts the same as his knee, but his elbow comes down on the white, which means the ball's definitely across the plane.
Touchdown.
Caleb Reams last year caught 2 passes all year. Before today, not a catch this season. So 2 catches today, and now the first touchdown for Caleb Reams, a sophomore in his collegiate career.
Difference in that drive, no penalties, no sacks. Able to have some sustained success.
Make this a 3-point game. Chase McLaughlin. Somewhat of a high snap. And he knocks it through.
Talk about a turnaround from first half to second half. Just 51 yards, 8 attempts. In the first half, 7 of 10, $172 and 2 touchdowns. And he's been under duress all the time in the second half. 4 or 5 sacks already in the second half. But when he's had a chance to throw, he's been accurate. Biggest number there, no interceptions.
Davonte Williams back to receive the kick from McLaughlin. A 3-point game early on, 4th quarter. And Williams, no chance to return this one. So Timian in motion. Lagow keeps it looking and throws to Timian against Dunlap. And he's tackled across the 25-yard line. They'll mark him down shy of the 30. A gain of about 4.
We've talked about the coverage of the linebackers on Davonte Williams in the backs. That time, Dele Harding had tremendous coverage, had to check down to Timian because he was covered.
Now Cole Guest comes in. He gets the call, and Guest is buried after a gain of maybe 1 by Jamal Woods.
It's a big 3rd down. Your offense has some confidence. If you're Illinois, this is the danger of a hurry-up offense. If you go 3 and out, you put your defense right back on the field, and there's not a lot of depth on that Indiana defense, as we mentioned, is why it's broken down. Got to watch out for Luke Timmon and Sidney Cobbs in these situations.
Haven't seen Jamal Milan return since he left with an injury on 3rd down. Lagow throwing, and that's incomplete, and here come the flags. The freshman Hobbs on the coverage, but flags came in from the Indiana sideline.
Well, it was Hobbs on Cobbs for the cover job.
Defense, number 21. The ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
I said 21. That's Patrick Nelson, the safety. Not Hobbs.
Let's take a look at Hobbs. Press coverage on Hobbs.
That's a good
it's
call.
Actually on Taysir Max, the receiver.
That's a good call.
And it is a good call. As you can see, his left hand really hooked the inside of the shoulder pad.
Here's Mack with the catch, and he is hit, but still forward progress takes him out across the 45-yard line.
Taysir Mack has gotten some reps today. short at receiver. Nick Westbrook hurt the first play of the season. Donovan Hale banged up.
Indiana going quickly, and it's a run for Cole Guest. To your point about Taysir Mack, today, look at the catches. He's up to 6 catches today. Before today, had 9 all year.
He's really filled that void for Watt Fillier. We haven't seen a lot of Watt Fillier since the first half. It's been Taysir Mack, other than Timian and Cobbs, who's been the go-to guy.
3rd down and 1. It is a run. Ellison stacked up, but moves forward, and forward progress will give him the first down across the midfield. So Ellison was hit a couple of times, but he kept on running hard. The freshman picks up 3 and a first down.
Good second effort by Ellison before he got popped by Patrick Nelson. Here comes the tempo from Indiana.
Teams, all 3 timeouts remaining. You see first downs, heavily favored Indiana, but just a 3-point game. Ellison stays in the tailback. Water Cutter in motion, the tight end. Lagow, incomplete. Timian fell down. Getting back to Indiana and his wide receiving core, we've discussed Mack and Fillier a bit today, and Timian, but how differently this was expected to be with Simi Cobbs and Nick Westbrook and Donovan Hale leading a very talented receiving core.
Well, Cobbs 2 years ago had over 1,000 yards receiving, and he got injured last year. Westbrook filled in, had over 1,000 yards receiving. Donovan Hale would have been a starter as well, along with Ian Thomas, who would have had the biggest receiving core. Those are all big guys playing the position. You throw in Luke Timian in the slot, very talented receiving core.
Seen Ty Freifogel today. He was a game-time decision. Did not play last week against Wisconsin with an undisclosed injury. Play clock at 0.
Timeout. Indiana. They're first.
So 2nd and 10. Cole Guest back in a tailback. And Lagow's right. And it is Guest with a nice hole, and he is tackled then across the 45, setting up 3rd down at about 3. Stanley Green. Bobby Smith will tell you plays aggressively. Out of the hit that brought down Guest, 3rd down.
Could be 4-down territory for Indiana.
Going into the wind right now are the Hoosiers, leading by 3. Lagow throwing, and this is caught, and it'll be tackled shy of the 1st down. It's Ryan Watercutter with his 9th catch of the season, the backup tight end. Patrick Nelson, who left earlier with an injury, but back in. He and Watson combined on the tackle. So now we'll see what the Hoosiers will do. They're going to pin, it looks like, Illinois back.
Difference between Watercutter and Thomas. Thomas has the speed to get the 1st down, and their Watercutter doesn't. And if you run the ball on that 3rd down, you probably get a 1st down, and you probably have a very short yardage 4th down attempt. Now you're forced to punt.
7th punt today for Hayden Whitehead. And this will bounce and down inside the 2-yard line. Richard Fant got down to cover that ball, so a great punt, 57 yards, and then Fant downed it inside the 2.
Execution in special teams doesn't get any better than that. Hayden Whitehead plopped it inside the 10. Good little bounce. Fant able to down it.
We welcome you to Champaign. Audience that saw Penn State beat Rutgers today in State College. Corey Provis, Jay Lehman here in Champaign. A 3-point game. With 9:35 to go in the 4th quarter. Illinois deep inside its own territory. Hands it off. Kendrick Foster out near the 5-yard line. This was a 14-0 Indiana lead at halftime. Illinois got the ball first to begin the second half, and the first play from scrimmage, a 77-yard touchdown pass to Lewis Dorsey to make it 14-7. Indiana got a field goal from Griffin Oaks to make it a 10-point game, but George led the Illini down the field, a 14-yard touchdown pass to Caleb Reams, and now a 3-point game. Walker in motion on 2nd down. George from his end zone throwing deep, and that is going to be intercepted by Richard Fant inside the 25. Now they're going to say incomplete. Fant's man-to-man coverage with Ricky Smalley. It looked like a catch at first, but then ruled incomplete.
The NCAA leader, the active NCAA leader in pass breakups, had 2 opportunities for interceptions. I thought he came down with this initially. Tremendous coverage, but you have to complete the catch. You can see it fell between his legs. Good coverage on Smalley, falling away from the ball. And the ball just, you saw it in the first angle that it actually did come out, hit the turf.
Play clock is at 3. Take a look. And they will, so they're going to take a look.
My question was, did his legs keep the ball off the turf? And it was hard to see on the angle. That's the one thing. If the ball kept the legs off, if the leg kept the ball off the turf, he was able to get his hands under it before it hit the ground. So we take another look at this. Comes down with it. See, now the ball's out. See, it looks like there it's on the turf, in between his legs, but I don't know if you have enough to overturn the call on the field, which is an incomplete pass. That doesn't show enough right there. Let's check this view out. It looks to me like the ball just hit the turf, and that's a great shot from our crew. Right there. Right there, the ball's on the turf. What a shot right there. It's a good replay.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass.
Richard Fant dropped a pick 6 earlier and nearly had one there. So 3rd down and 6 for the Illini.
One of the best cover corners in the Big Ten. Hasn't had the ball thrown his way that much this season, so his numbers aren't as impressive as they have been in years past, especially with Ashawn Riggins going out. People have picked on Andre Brown and Raheem Lane.
Illinois just 2 of 12 on 3rd down. Indiana has brought pressure all day. 7 sacks for the Hoosiers alone today. They bring 4. George throwing, and that's swatted away, and there's Fant again. Incomplete, intended for Traynard Davis. Fant graduated in December, pursuing a master's degree right now in public affairs. So George tried to test Fant a couple of times, but the 5th-year senior responded on back-to-back plays.
Richard Fant plays with vision. What do I mean by that? He sees the man and he sees the quarterback and sees when the ball's released. Watch how his head's on the swivel. Oh, he sees when the quarterback releases the ball, does the long arm rake technique, puts his right arm out there, gets a pass breakup.
10th punt, wind at the back of Blake Hayes. Good field position for Fant, who's on the return this time. And Fant with a crease, a hurdle across the 45, and is brought down near the 40. We've seen Timian, we've seen Fant a few times. All right, Mike, thank you. 8:37 to play in the 4th quarter. Great field position for Indiana. Leading by 3. Ellison, the running back. Lagow rolling and throwing, and he finds Ellison across the 35 and then muscled out. He'll have a 1st down near the 30. That's been a go-to spot all day. Lagow finding his running backs in the passing game.
And Pat Nelson has blown that coverage 2 or 3 times as a safety for Illinois, number 21. Just a running back in the flat. You've got a man-to-man. Get your eyes on your man, cover your man. Another mental error leads to a 1st down. And if you're Indiana, look for them to slow up the tempo maybe here, up by 3. Maybe wants to chop up some clock.
12-yard play. On 1st down, it's a run with Ellison. It's parallel with the 29-yard line, then dropped. Pretty much no gain. James Crawford, senior. Defensive end from Deerfield, Illinois, with the tackle. Ellison now comes out. And Davonte Williams comes in.
It's got to be an alert. Davonte Williams, tremendous receiver in the backfield.
Timian in motion. Lagow throwing, trying to set up the screen. In trouble. Lagow is going to throw out of bounds for Timian. He was trying to set up the screen, but Tymier Oliver, he was chasing after Lagow from the get-go. So 3rd down.
Well, he wants Davonte Williams sneaking out of the backfield. Look, he wants to throw it back. They scored a touchdown against Wisconsin this, but he's unable to throw the ball because of the pressure from Tymir Oliver. Has to throw it away.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 9. Lagow throws quickly, water cutter the catch, and he still fights near the 20. And that extra effort's going to make this about a 4th down and short. He was hit for maybe it would have been 4th and 2, possibly 3, but water cutter, that late surge made this a decision here.
Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. They bring Morgan Ellison, their power back in. They passed last time on 4th down in the short situation. I think they'll run here.
4th and 1. Ellison, 1st down and more. Inside the 15, down to the 10. 3 of 4 now on 4th down. The Hoosiers today, a 10-yard play.
They've moved the ball well, and they've done it out of this unbalanced set. You can see 2 offensive linemen to the bottom of your screen. It's been tough for Illinois to match up in this set.
1st and goal, leading by 3. Ellison up the middle for about 1. Denebo did not play last week. Back today with the tackle.
Just good defensive tackle play in the trenches. Tito Odenabo is able to work off Wes Martin's block and make a stop at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, another run, and it's Ellison to the 5, tackled by Nelson. Gain of 3. If Indiana goes to the air here on 3rd and goal, who should they target?
I think it's got to be Simi Cobbs, your best receiver, best jump ball receiver. They've also liked Timian, but they're probably going to put Cobbs one-on-one at the bottom of your screen, match him up on Dunlap. Now, in situations, the Michigan game, they didn't have to go to Cobbs in critical situations. I think you got to go to your best player at a critical time of the game. Go to Simi Cobbs, matched up one-on-one, Jaden Dunlap.
Cassidy and Thomas out there right now. They throw it to Cobbs, end zone, touchdown, Indiana. On 3rd and goal, why not to Cobbs? His 7th touchdown this season, 2nd touchdown today. Thrown by Lagow, and Indiana leads by 9. Extra point still to come.
Dunlap got caught guessing. He thought it was going to be the fade route, throw it over the top to Cobbs. Cobbs stemmed, made it look like it was that, and cut inside for an easy pitch and catch for Lagow.
Oaks the extra point. To the scoring drive, 8 plays, 41 yards. Cobbs, a 5-yard touchdown catch. Richard Lagow has thrown it now 46 times today. He's completed 30 of them. A couple of touchdowns, and Simi Cobbs with 1. His numbers, 4 for 54. Cobbs came in tied with Maryland's DJ Moore. The most receptions amongst wide receivers in the Big Ten.
And Cobbs does it week in and week out. Doesn't matter who's covering him. Makes a play. So difficult in the red zone with his size.
Kicking into the wind. He sets up a return for Nate Hobbs. Part of his shirt last time he did this, and he keeps his gear this time across the 20. That's where Illinois will have it down by 10. Well, Saturday, December 2nd, the champions of the East and West collide in Indy for the conference's ultimate prize. Don't miss the 2017 Big Ten Football Championship game presented by Discover. Saturday, December 2nd only on Fox. Look at the top 10 today. Still plenty of intriguing games to come today and then tonight.
How about that Miami-Notre Dame game? Some big implications in that game. Of course, TCU, Oklahoma, later on Fox.
Washington losing last night. And, of course, Wisconsin still to come today.
Even though Washington was behind Wisconsin in that college football playoff ranking, any loss in the top 10 favors Wisconsin, favors the Big Ten. Think about Ohio State. They're obviously going to move ahead of Michigan State after drubbing them. The way they got beat, though, against Iowa, just hard to imagine Ohio State working its way back in, but stranger things have happened.
Badgers can officially wrap up the West with a win today at home over Iowa. Foster in motion. George has had a much better second half with time, throwing deep, and it's Smalley the catch. Inside Indiana territory, and they're going to say that he is down inside the 50. If Illinois needs a big play, it seems like they look to two freshmen, either the tight end Dorsey or the wide receiver freshman Ricky Smalley. 31 yards.
Smalley's special because he goes and gets the football, something you don't see a lot of young football players do. As a four-star out of Brother Rice High School, and he's lived up to that, especially in the absence of Malik Turner and Mike Dudek.
George throwing high, this one off the hands of Smalley. Top of his hands. 3 catches, 73 yards now for Smalley.
This is catchable, but the ball should have been more accurate. Give him a chance for yards after the catch, just after off his fingertips. And you want to throw that ball. You don't want to lead him that much with Chase Dutra in the middle of the football field.
Can Indiana close out a fourth quarter lead? 10-point game. George pressured, and that ball came out, and it's recovered by Indiana. Tigre Scales with the ball in his gut. It was knocked free, and Indiana and Jacob Robinson, who punched it out of George's hand, forces a turnover. Scales picks it up. Indiana makes a play, and the Hoosiers have the ball.
Second time we've seen George get lax with his ball handling. Watch Alan Stallings come right up the middle of the field, and it's Jacob Robinson maybe. Got a hand on the ball. With the left hand, Stallings flushes him. Robinson bucks it. And look at the bounce here to Scales. Scales so productive. And look at Tom Allen. He loves the turnovers. Turnover Tom. Excited.
Robinson, a junior, forced it out. The senior Scales recovered it. And that senior class, they had a meeting with the entire team, and they spoke on Sunday following the loss last week that a bowl game is still out there for us. Need to win out.
Now it's going to come down to running out the clock. Can Illinois stop the running attack of Indiana?
Illinois has all 3 of its timeouts. Run for Cole Guest. Gain of 3. Indiana, to reach 6 wins, again, they would have to win out. And the remaining games after today, of course, are Big Ten games. But the Hoosiers haven't won 3 straight Big Ten games since 1993. More to that, the Hoosiers haven't won their last 3 regular season games, period, since 1946. Well, you see what's still to come after playing a brutal schedule. It does lighten a little bit, but the bucket game could look and be big on both sides to wrap up the season. Bob Fillier trying to stretch it out. Flags down. We have multiple flags down near the 45. That will stop the clock at 4:29.
Holding offense number 76. Williams decline. 3rd down.
It's declined, so 3rd down and long.
So Lovey realizing that time is more of a commodity than down and distance right now. Coach Smith declines the penalty. Big 3rd down.
3rd and 10. They set it up, and this is caught by Taysir Mack near midfield. He'll be short of the 1st down by about 2 or 3 yards. So 4th down, and the clock will stop. Illinois calling its first time out with 3:58 to play.
Indiana running what they call the 4-minute drill, trying to run out the clock. Unable to get a 1st down. 1st down would have burned. If they would have been able to get 1st down there, they could have burned the timeouts of Illinois. And Illinois in pretty good shape to get the ball back, at least have a chance to score and maybe do an onside kick. Still kicking for the Illini.
Last time Indiana was in this position, that man right there with a beautiful punt. And Richard Fan sprinted downfield and down the ball inside the 2-yard line. It's been a busy day for both punters, 2 guys that know each other well.
See Nate Hobbs decide to tuck in his shirt.
And Illinois is going to call a timeout here. This is a costly timeout called, just 1 remaining. After just using one a moment ago, now they have to call another timeout. Not the right personnel out there on 4th down.
That's a huge mistake. Timeouts are at a premium. You're down by 10, 3:58 left. Not sure what the issue was, if they didn't have enough men on the field, they didn't have the right call.
They might have had too many guys in the field, Jay. They might have had 12 guys in the field.
That would have led to a first down.
They had too many guys in the field. That would have led to a first down. You're right. So, see, Clayton had to be pulled back, and so that leads to a timeout. Second straight one called by Illinois. Whitehead gets it away, and Hobbs with no return can fan save this one. The tip in into the end zone. They'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Through, and now Ramsey's banged up, and Lagow gets the nod.
So now Jeff George, one timeout left, down by 10, in trouble, and he'll throw, and Foster can't hang on. That would not gone for much. Tony Fields right next to Foster, but it was Mike Barwick who brought the pressure on George. If you're going to be critical of Jeff George Jr. at times, it's how aggressive he can be, and maybe too aggressive at times. However, down by 10, you have to kind of put that aside, don't you?
Yeah, that's a lot of times his interceptions come when he's down by multiple scores late in the second half, and he's also been tough today. He's taken a lot of shots, a lot of sacks. He stood in there, tried his best to put the ball in there in tough, tight situations.
7 sacks to be exact. And now we'll throw dangerously towards the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Smalley. Third down.
Flag on the play. Probably a holding on Illinois. We'll see if Tom Allen accepts or declines.
Offense number 67, 2-yard penalty, second down.
They will take the penalty. Bring the ball back.
So Christian DeLauro, who's been moved around quite a bit. He's played a little bit of tackle, a little bit of tight end, a little bit of guard. Most experienced offensive lineman they have, 34 starts, but hasn't started that much this year.
Second down and 20. George throws, caught by Foster. George took a big hit again in his own end zone. Gain of about 8. Jacob Robinson, the one who hit George in the end zone. Watch 91 here.
Robinson's been relentless today. He's the one that caused that fumble. Played as a defensive end mostly last year, has moved inside a little bit, and in pass rush situations, sometimes they'll move him outside again.
On third down, George deep into double coverage, and that is up for grabs and picked off by Indiana. Rashard Fant, he's had a few chances today, and this one he pulls down. George picked off. Indiana with a turnover, and the Hoosiers can run out the clock here, leading by 10.
This is where a lot of George's picks come. He throws it right there, and Fant's just waiting for it. High points the football. Fant not huge, only listed at 5'10", but able to come down with that. He's just guarding the sticks. He knows they have to get a first down, 3rd and 12. He gets in between Smalley and the quarterback. Ball comes his way. First down, Hoosiers.
Rashard Fant nearly had a pick 6 in the first quarter. Nearly had one earlier this quarter. Now he picks off George. Indiana, Illinois, only one timeout left. Put this one away. Flags come in. Stop the clock at 3 minutes to go.
Looks like a false start by the tight end or offensive lineman for Indiana.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Time for a look at today's Duluth Trading hardest working player. We focus in on the quarterback, Richard Lagow.
289 through the air, 2 touchdowns. Solid performance for Lagow.
Also 4 on that play. And I look at the bottom there, 10 different receivers.
Spreading the ball around. It shows that Lagow goes through his progressions. He's not just honing in on one receiver before the play. He's taking what the defense gives him. As Illinois will burn their Third and final timeout. Tom Allen said we're in need of a win. Looks like they're on their way to getting a win. And his first Big Ten Conference win as a head football coach.
On second down, it's Cole Guest, and he is met by Patrick Nelson. At the 42, a gain of 3.
These are the little mistakes that are going to drive a coach crazy. James Crawford just lined up offsides. You got to put your hat behind your hand and your hand behind the ball.
Offside. Defense, number 5 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty or down.
It was so obvious from when we were standing. You can see you want to put your hand behind the ball and your hat behind your hand. His hat and his hand are past the ball.
That's not a freshman. That's a senior.
Those are the things you not do in conference play if you want to get off a losing streak.
Indiana will snap a 4-game losing streak. Illinois will see its losing streak rise to 8. And now 10 straight losses in Big Ten play. On second down at 14. It's Cole Guest. And the pile still working. Now near the 35. Gain of 4.
If you're in Indiana, you've got Rutgers, you've got Purdue. Rutgers, much improved football team. Obviously played a very good football team in Penn State. We got to see Rutgers at the beginning of them turning it around here against Illinois. Got a big conference road win, their first in almost 2 years, and have won 3 out of 5 conference games since then. Chris Ash got awarded an extension this season, so this week rather. He'll face Tom Allen, and next week in a matchup I think will be very evenly matched.
Senior Day 2 in Bloomington. Indiana will wrap up in 2 weeks. Bucket game in West Lafayette. There's a third down run for Cole Guest.
Cole Guest, the ball carrier.
Looks like Lagow will stay out there on 4th down. And now that'll change.
If you're Tom Allen, you might just want to even take the penalty rather than burning one of your 2 timeouts. Not that you might not need your timeouts with the situation they're in.
It may seem like a minor thing, but speaking of 4th down and punts, and Hayden Whitehead, there's the delay, so Indiana will take it.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It was a 3-point game. Indiana punted, and Whitehead had a great punt, 51 yards, that pinned Illinois back. And Fant sprinted down the field to down it inside the 2-yard line. So, others will get a lot of credit for this Indiana win, but that punt and the special teams coverage on that play was very large.
That was definitely a turning point in the second half, and Rashard Fant was huge. He downed that, had 2 pass breakups on the next drive coming out. For Illinois, they were coming out backed up, and then he had the interception later. Rashard Fant played his best, also had a good return on the punt as well, where it hurdled the defender.
This will be the 9th punt for Whitehead today. Illinois bringing the world, and Whitehead boots it away, and that'll bounce, and there is Fant and company, and Fant's like, hey, I got this. Get away.
Rashard Fant, look at the passes defended and the pass breakups. The NCAA active leader. Some question, Kevin Wilson questioned when he was here if he had the size when they were recruiting to play Big Ten football as a cornerback. I think he's answered all those questions.
George throws, and that is going to be intercepted by Tigray Scales. Inside the 10-yard line, he recovered a fumble a moment ago, and now an interception. A second career interception for Tigray Scales. Beg your pardon, 8th career interception, second this year for the senior linebacker.
Just an ill-advised decision. I know Jeff George is trying to make something happen. Just go down. Don't even throw the ball away. And Scales with a gift of an interception. 8 picks for a linebacker. Impressive hands. Was an all-state wrestler in the state of Ohio. Good wrestling state, T. Gray Scales.
Indiana will take a knee, and this will be the final play of the game. Michigan, Maryland coming up. Brandon Gaudin, Coach Glenn Mason, Elise Menaker from College Park. And the seconds tick away. Tom Allen smiling as he sees his team hang on to a fourth quarter lead today. And Indiana in the win column for the first time in Big Ten play this season, knocking off the Illini 24-14.